Good morning. Today is August 14, 2022, Sunday. Today's we have a character very complicated in writing, but very simple in meaning.
姜
Jiang is of only one meaning, which means ginger. Again, this whole thing is what it means.
菜种芥姜
It means that vegetables have two kind of vegetables, are very valuable, and one is called jie, meaning mustard, and the other is ginger, jiang. It's in comparison with the fruit. The fruit is valuable is the plum and also apples. Okay, so we have the whole sentence like this, read like that.
果真李奈菜种芥姜
This means that the fruit and the vegetables, they just compare it together. Remember that we don't have much meaning, and the author try to give as much meaning as possible, but actually the main purpose is to teach the children of the olden days in China to learn the characters, the 1,000 characters, and none of them are repeatable. Of course, they would try to make it like a song, like a poetry, so that it's easy to remember. But the main purpose is to teach them for all the characters. But of course, they don't want to make it so dry, so that they try to give them write something more meaningful, and also to teach the little children, the kids, that there's something that related to the daily life about fruits, about vegetables. Okay. So in Google Translate,
姜
and ginger, it's so simple and there's no other explanation, of course. But of course, you'll be intimidated by such a complicated writing. But if you just make it ginger, then you know that to Chinese Simplified, it's much simpler. In writing, it's simpler. Like forget about a sheng here, it means raw. But the jiang, the character writing now is much simpler. For simplified Chinese, used in mainland China and Singapore. Okay, that is the traditional form that they use in Hong Kong and Taiwan, and some part of Malaysia and some of the overseas Chinese. It's like this. And the Unicode, I would have another video on writing program and using Python and how we can print the Unicode. I would do it maybe today or tomorrow. So don't be afraid of such a complicated writing. If you're a programmer or developer, actually you can use the Unicode to print it. No need to be so terrified about the input of this character. Okay, now we have this Unicode, the character. The stroke is 16 strokes here. The Mandarin is jiang, okay? In Cantonese, you guess it's much more a big difference. It's gong, okay? And this kind of vegetables is used because it's the kind of spicy vegetables used widely in Japan and also Korea, and of course in Vietnam also. But of course, how you pronounce it in Korea, it sounds similar, okay? Kang. But Japanese is always different because they have the structure of the language, so there's no choice. They have, although they have writing similar to Chinese, but the sound is mostly, the pronunciation mostly very much different in Japan. And then how you write it, of course, it's really a lot of strokes. You have to be very patient. But of course, compare with a simplified form, that although they're complicated, they're easy to recognize because it really look like a plant itself, look like the ginger. So have to be patient for every stroke in writing. And the curtain script You'll find it here. So we try to make the sequence like that. We start from here and then one stroke all the way down and here, and then finish with this stroke. Normally we with this not only the sequence, but when we try to control the chi, the energy, right, that we should be a little bit slow here, and then just something like that, and then at the corner normally we slow down and then we go down a little quicker, and it's like that, and then finish with the last parts of the energy, and then we get also combine with the breathing, that you have a very nice way of doing something or actually practice a certain kind of meditation. Jiang, a very detailed explanation about the feature of that kind of vegetable, not only vegetable but also a herb, also a spicy herb, also used to have medicinal effects, a kind of medicine. The parts actually this website is nice. You can actually learn the pronunciation of every word, but it's very complicated. A kind of advanced level of Chinese using this website. So language meaning
Ginger.
only ginger. No the meaning. So that is the picture of a ginger plant. An explanation of the ginger in the Chinese version of the Wikipedia. And you know that India is the country that produces most of the ginger, about 30%. Then Indonesia, Nepal, and Nigeria. And ginger is also used widely in UK and Germany. In Christmas time, they have the gingerbread, and because it actually can cure some of the disease, so it's very useful. So India made most of the ginger.
Jiang 草部
which
13
means
画
that it's
共
radical,
17画
like this, or the 13
江
strokes, so very complicated in writing. Okay, that's it for this character, and we talk about the next one tomorrow. Thank you for listening. Thank you, bye.